Drummatical here, and today we are unboxing Tama's Iron Cobra 900. This is the single pedal power glide version. There are 3 different versions, and I'll get more into that later. But if you're in the market for maybe a new drum pedal and you've been looking and you're trying to decide on what might be a good option for you, I hope this video will be helpful and give you some insight on whether this could be the perfect fit. So without further ado, let's open it up. Alright, so let's see how this opens up. Pretty simple. And OMG. So this, check out this case, guys. Wow. It's like a toolbox. Super heavy duty. Now I have to say this real quick. When I owned the DW9000, the DW9000 came with a case, but it was more like a covering. You put it in this little bag. But this is a real case. This is a man's man case. Like, this is going to be able to take some heavy hitting. It's pretty heavy too. It's really nice. Got a nice handle on it. You just pop up these 2 flaps. But yeah, we have to keep in mind that the Iron Cobra is actually $199 retail. And the DW9000 that I used to own was actually $1999. So there's about a $120 difference. So I'm very impressed. And I'm not dissing DW, but I've noticed that they've been a little overhyped, a little overpriced. They make good quality, but what you get for your money, come on. Like, DW needs to learn from Tama and actually get better quality cases. If their flagship pedal is a little dinky case, what does that say? This is incredible. So I'm very excited about this case. It's heavy duty. So I'm trying to hold this up. I'm gonna pop this baby open. Ooh. Let me show you. That's what it looks like. Wow. So heavy duty. Wow. Check this out, guys. So taking a look at it, I think there's so many cool features about this pedal. And if we look closely, we see this spring right here. This is called the Cobra coil. It's right under the foot plate. And what's really neat about this is it gives that fluid feeling where sometimes when you play with certain pedals, it feels like your foot plate's escaping from you, like it's hard to get it back, if that makes sense. If you have any experience with maybe the DW9000 pedal, it's a very smooth pedal. But if you don't know how to control it, it feels like it's slipping underneath you. So this coil, it kind of just helps return this foot plate back to the original position. It kind of bounces back with every hit, and it's a really nice feature, and I feel like that might be why this pedal feels like liquid. It is just a really cool feature. And if you look closely, what's neat about Iron Cobra is depending on where you play on the foot pedal, you can actually adjust it on the back with the drum key. So you can go up or down depending on where you're used to playing. So that's a cool little option right there. So if we turn this guy around, we can see with Tama, they included what's called a speedo ring. This thing is awesome. If you're ever on a gig and you notice it takes a while to break down, what's cool about this is you literally just hook it up to the bearing and you have your pedal. You don't have to take your beater off. It just clicks right in place, and voila. It's really easy setup and breakdown. You literally just unhook it or hook it back up. You never have to use your key, take off your beater, put it away, and then try to guess where you had that perfect length. So that's a great adjustment. Now if you notice, when you're pushing down right here, kind of see the swivel motion right here. So this is the swivel spring tight. I think it's really great. I feel like this is what creates Iron Cobra fluidity. It creates that feeling of the pedal being almost like the extension of your foot. This is probably why I switched over to Iron Cobra. I was demoing this and it just felt so nice, and feel is so important. Of course, pedals are going to be subjective on what is your preference and your taste. But something with the swivel motion, it just takes some tension off the springs and it kind of just moves with it as a full functioning machine. It's just very nice and smooth. Now, if we examine further, we see we have the footboard, we have the oil bearings, and then the hinge guard block. What I love about this foot plate is the grip on it. Some pedals I've experienced in the past were a little slippery for me, but this is just the perfect amount of grip, and it looks stylish. It feels nice. I really did not like the pearl eliminator style at all. I didn't like all the little orange dots. I don't know if they're trying to go for some futuristic style, but it looked really dated. So I just like the simple black and silver. It's timeless. Now, what's really impressive about this hinge guard block is that it's going to keep your foot plate from shifting. If you guys ever had any experience in the past, sometimes your foot plate would feel like it's shifting right here. You might not feel it, but it would shift in between. So what's cool is this is a solid piece, and it goes right over the oil bearings and keeps it set in place. And the oil bearings are smooth as butter. So Tama, kudos to you, because this is a fantastic engineering. Now, if you want to make any adjustments, they also include your hex key and drum key. This is a little nitpicky, but I think this is really clever, the placement. It's very functional. I've owned 2 other pedals that I've turned in for this pedal. I used to own the Pearl Demon Eliminators, and then I switched over to DW9000, and both had their keys, and you would clamp it right onto the bass deck. So to have this here is just more ideal. It's quick in. It's very quick. You can just grab it and put it in. You don't have to worry about clamping it in perfectly, because I would always lose those keys that came with it because I got frustrated. I thought I clamped it in and I didn't, and I would lose it. So you have the hex key on the back and then the drum key in the front, and you can adjust the angle of the length of the beater. And then you can also, on the bottom here, you can adjust with the hex key. You also have a memory lock on top for the angle over here. So it's very adjustable. I really love what they did with it. It's just super user-friendly. And I know I'm not going to be losing this key anymore. Just boom. That simple. This is the Power Strike Cobra beater. It's a really neat design. They come in 3 different styles. I have the felt one. That's what it comes with. They also have a wood and a rubber. What's really cool about it is I like the narrow shape of it, the way they did the weight distribution. It's just very light, but it delivers the thump that you need. It's heavy enough. Some people might like the older Iron Cobra beaters. You can still switch them out if you don't like it. But I had no issues with it. I think it sounds good. The one that I demoed at Guitar Center. I don't know if I'm going to need to replace the beater. I'm going to play with it for a little while and see how it works out for me, if it's giving me the thump and punch that I want. Look down here on the bass deck, we got this paraclamp, and what's really cool about this is it's very versatile. So if you have like an older drum set, a lot of the older drum sets have different widths with the drum hoops, and certain pedals can be difficult to fit on that drum hoop. So I like this because it's very versatile. It can virtually fit any drum hoop, and it's got that nice rubber finish on both ends, so it's really going to protect it. It's not going to tear away your lacquer wrap really fast. So that's a really cool feature right there. So all in all, I would say that this pedal is really nice. This is the Power Glide version. You can see that the cam is actually offset. It's not perfectly rounded. So what this does is right before the beater hits the batter head, it accelerates. And so I actually like that because I feel like I get a little bit more of a thump. Some people prefer the old traditional rolling glide where it's just a rounded, perfectly rounded cam. They also have the Flexi Glide, and that's basically old school strap. Some people still like using a regular strap instead of a chain. I'm a chain person. With this, it's very subjective. There's a lot of people that like the rolling glide style more just because it's what they're used to. It's traditional, it's rounded. This is just a cool little innovative feature. You might not really be able to tell the difference, but you might feel a little difference in the control. What I have learned is that I went from a DW9000 and I returned it and I got this. And some people are going to say I'm crazy. But to be honest, I really didn't like the 9000. And I know a lot of people love it. And I feel like DW does a lot of things right, but that pedal just didn't feel right for me. And so sometimes spending more money on the pedal is not always the best route. And generally, yes, what you pay for is what you get. I get that. And so that's kind of, I went with that mindset. Let me just buy the best of the best. But honestly, it just wasn't the right feel. In drum pedals, it's all about feel. So don't worry about what people say is the best. You have to do what is right for you and what is right for your style. DW, you gotta step your game up, because that dinky case that you gave me for $120 more for your pedal was a piece of crap. I'm so disappointed to see that DW had that type of case for such a flagship type of pedal. What I'm gonna do now is hook this up to my little electronic trigger. Instead of pulling out my entire drum set, I just want to try it out and show you the response and reaction time. So thank you so much for watching this long, and I hope you guys enjoyed this.